Hola, buenos días.
Buenas tardes, buenas noches.
This is Barb.
And this is Estella.
And welcome to
Cafecito.
and Crime. So, today's episode is brought to you by Estella.
Sí.
So, what are we doing today, young lady?
Okay, so today's case is about a missing person.
A missing person.
Yes.
So, is it an ongoing case?
Yes.
Okay.
It's been since 1998.
Wow. Desde que nací yo.
Sí.
So, if you would like to listen to Estella's case since I was born, go ahead and grab your cafecitos.
And let's get started. So today's case takes place on a cruise ship.
A cruise ship.
A cruise ship.
So, how would you do your fun, interesting, fucking fact? Your fun, interesting, fun fact.
Oh, thank you for that introduction to the fun, random, interesting fact about cruise ships. Is that I did find a couple.
Oh, about cruise ships.
Yeah, about cruise ships. Because I couldn't do it on international waters, you know?
Dude, like, I've never been on a cruise. Pero me da un pinche miedo de pensar que you're out there with nothing but the water.
Open water.
Like, bitch, that's so scary to me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not that I would never get on a cruise, pero, sí da miedo, güey.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, está todo oscuro a la verga. Like, no hay nada.
Yeah.
Just abyss.
The abyss?
The abyss. Y luego, ya cállate.
Tú, güey, tú the one that went home. Is that, okay, so most cruise ships have morgues.
No.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
Yep. So according to the New York Post, the morgue is prepared to hold a body until it reaches the port, like a port that they're gonna dock in. And then if that port is like a big enough place that you can make arrangements to ship the body back to the person that passed away's home.
That's fucking crazy, dude. Mm-hmm. That is crazy.
Yeah.
So what would be like, I wonder, like, what would be on your certificate, like your death certificate?
Like let's say you had like a heart attack. Does it usually have like a place that you passed away at?
Yeah, it does. It has to. It's like the county. Like, for example, Harris County or Dallas County or whatever county.
I wonder if it would just, depending on where you're... Yeah, I mean, that's just weird. I'm sure there's like a lot of other stuff that goes into that kind of stuff.
So
but
crazy.
It's something that you don't really think about.
Yeah, I mean, you're not over here thinking about...
There's a more... But I mean, it happens. I mean, people do pass... Let's say si alguien le da un ataque al corazón or something, you know, or...
No, es posible, but I'm just saying, like,
well, obviously, because they have morgues, like really big ships, like different types.
But they only have space for one body.
No, they say that there's some that can hold up to 3 to 6 bodies.
Damn! Mm-hmm. Oh, hell. Yeah. But they don't do like an autopsy or anything. No, okay, cool.
Okay. And another fun, random, interesting fact.
Horas de dos. Double trouble.
Is that the first official cruise ship that set sail was this is German, so was the Prinzessin Victoria Louise in the summer of 1900.
Damn.
1900. And yeah, like I just said, it was a German passenger ship. And another one.
Oh, damn. 3?
Yeah, it's because there was like a lot of, just like little ones there. But a lot of ships, like they don't have a 13 deck because it's like superstitious that you're not supposed to have like a 13 deck based on a sailor superstition.
Wow.
I know.
That's crazy.
And there's actually called there's an actual word for the fear of the number 13.
Oh, like a phobia of number 13. Yeah, I believe that.
But I think that the reason, and I try to find what this sailor superstition was, but it was like kind of dead ends. But the fear of the number 13 is called, bear with me, triskaidekaphobia.
No way.
I'm pretty sure I said that wrong, but that's the fear of the number 13.
Yo, daddy. That's
whatever you call me, your mama.
Whatever you call me, yo, daddy. That's what I want you to know about that.
So those are like a little random facts about cruise ships.
That's crazy. I never even thought about that. Pero like I was watching this TikTok because, I like TikTok. Pero it was about these people there's fishermen, even like they could hear supposedly the cries of the mermaids or something. And you can hear like in the recording.
Oh, I think I saw that a couple of years ago.
And then, no, this was recent.
No, but there's some like that, like before,
y
like
luego,
older
like
ones.
something was going really fast with them swimming at the same time, which I'm pretty sure was just like a big fish, or it could be. Pero it was like they thought it was like a mermaid or whatever, and then I just saw the Little Mermaid, so kind of Pero me da miedo, güey. Sí da miedo. No, for real. Porque te imaginas, you look outside, está todo negro.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing, not even like a lucecita, like nothing. You're just out there, just floating. Just floating. With
I mean, you pass other ships depending on where you're going, pero...
Nada, güey, no.
But that's it.
With the mag. ¿Cómo se llamaba el big old...
The Meg?
The Meg. The mag. The Meg, güey. Te va a tragar. No, hell no.
No, that's prehistoric shit. The Meg.
Bro, but it's real. I think it's real. It has to be. Why would it not be? We don't know what's out there in the waterway.
No. Like nothing. I think there's only like 5%. They've only like covered 5% of the ocean.
There's no way that there's stuff that we don't know about the water.
But imagine all that shit that lives down there and how it's adapted to living down there. And we don't even know what it looks like.
King Triton is down there according to Little Mermaid. Yeah. And Sebastian.
Yeah.
Yeah. La Little Mermaid.
No, not all the way down there. Sebastian, he like floats up top, he's like right here.
No, yeah. Pero no, for real, think about it. Like they are saying, like you said, 5%, ¿te imaginas? Of there's like waters que nunca han conocido. Like, what the fuck?
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
And it's very creepy.
Very creepy.
Yeah.
But I mean, we can keep going on that, but what happened in the waters out there?
Okay, so we're going to start this case. So Amy Lynn Bradley was born on May 12 of 1974. In Petersburg, Virginia, to parents Ron and Iva Bradley. So she was their first child, era la primera. And then they welcomed a baby boy named Brad Bradley, a couple of years later. So him and Amy and Brad were only like, I want to say 2 years apart. So the family of four lived in Chesterfield, Virginia, which is kind of like a nice suburb outside of Richmond, Virginia. Mm-hmm. Amy had a pretty ideal childhood growing up in like the 70s and the 80s. Like it was a time, even when we grew up like in the 90s and stuff, but like around that time, dice que todos los niños de la vecindad, de la cuadra, all the kids would play outside together.
Yeah.
They all knew each other.
All on the street and eating bolis and shit.
Yeah. Comiendo tierra. Making mud pies.
Yeah. Y luego the paletero pasaba and we would get our little monies together.
50 centavos.
Yeah, because you can get 2 chips with 25, with 50 cents.
And you can buy those paletas.
Yeah, like those paletas.
Las de arroz con leche?
Yes.
Oh, they're so good.
God,
but the cookies and cream ones, la de leche.
You could have gotten one, but now
they're like
$5.
Yes.
Like straight up, it's crazy.
So Amy, I was going to say Jamie. Amy was always doing something. She was very athletic and she played, as she was growing up, her mom dice que she played about 5 sports.
Damn, bike?
She was on a swim team, so she was described as a very strong swimmer. Along with her brother, they had like a neighborhood swim team, so they were both in it. And Amy and Brad were actually like really close. She also played basketball. She was...
Well, how many years did you say they were apart?
2.
2, okay, yeah.
About 2. She played basketball and she loved it. Her mom said that she was the only girl on the boys' basketball team.
Yes,
yeah.
That's
so she was
up.
very determined and very driven. And if she wanted something, Iva goes on to say, she was like, we always instilled in our children that, there wasn't anything that you guys couldn't do. If you wanted it, you went after it. And that's exactly how she was. Amy was. So after graduating high school, she decided to stay local and attend Longwood University on a full-ride scholarship to play basketball. Nice. So she stayed close.
Okay, cool.
After she graduated college, she was set to start a new job. She was going to begin working with her aunt's husband, I think, something computer-related. And not only that, but she had just recently moved into her own apartment, and she had gotten a dog.
So at this point, how old is she?
23.
Okay.
And she was making plans to, like, even after she graduated and she was doing all of this, she was making plans to go for her master's.
Okay.
She wanted to get her master's in sports psychology.
So basically continue her education.
Yeah.
Cool. We like her.
So things were going great for Amy, obviously. She had a lot going on for herself. So in March of 1998, Iva told her kids, Brad and Amy, that Ron's company was sending the family on a week-long Caribbean cruise.
Cool.
Caribbean, however you say it.
Caribbean.
Brad was very excited.
Yeah.
And Amy was very apprehensive. Porque Amy, according to Brad, she didn't like large ships, and like you and I, like open water freaked her out.
Yeah, that's some shit right there. Like, see, if you start really like thinking about it, it probably fucks with you. Like, you know, that I'm the other way because I'm like,
just thinking about it.
Ya cuando estás, I'm pretty sure when you start getting your drinks, you know, whatever, you start forgetting about it. Pero at that moment, like, I guess, I don't know. I've never been on one, so I don't know what I feel. Pero como quiera, sí me da miedo. La verdad. I mean, I'll be cool, but it's like getting on an airplane. It's the same thing. Like, you're still gonna...
You see the water below you, but you're above, not on... I don't know what's worse.
but still, you know what I mean? It's you can't... If you start thinking about that stuff,
it's too hard.
You're not going to be able to do nothing. Like, you'll just stop doing...
You psych yourself out. Yeah.
So she was scared, too.
She was scared, yeah.
She knew about the Meg.
I think she might have known about the Meg.
She knew about the Meg.
Before we knew about the Meg, but she knew about the Meg. She wasn't sure if she wanted to go. Like, straight up. She was like, I don't know if I want to get on a big ass ship, which she wasn't really fond of.
Let's take a quick break.
Persons of Interest is back, and it's bigger than ever.
That scream will echo in my head for many years.
Taser, taser, taser! He's gonna shoot!
Oi! Shot fired! Shots fired, shots fired.
Stay out, you got a gun on you!
He had the perfect aim.
I am absolutely stressed at that point. I have no idea where my officers are.
Persons of Interest available everywhere you get your podcasts.
Okay. Say that again, baby girl. Say that again, baby girl.
You don't want to leave it in my accent?
Fond of.
Sounds like you fondant. So Brad was like, come on, let's go. It's going to be fun.
Her. Yeah,
because,
vamos.
Sí, porque Brad, he had already gone on one before.
Oh, so he was like, no te va a pasar nada.
It's going to be us. We get to spend time as a family together before all these news changes. It's fucking free. Like,
bro,
I mean,
you know, I'll do anything for free.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
So after speaking to Brad, Amy decided to join her family.
So she's like, you know what? He put me at ease. You know, maybe I should go.
You know, but sadly, she would not.
I mean, this is the reason why my sister doesn't want to go with us to anywhere to California, because she has to get on an airplane.
Yeah.
And she's like, de seguro, con mi suerte, it's going to fall. I'm like, bitch, you're so stupid. It's just an airplane. No, it's because it's my luck. I'm like, okay, whatever.
I don't think, maybe on land, I don't think you have that kind of luck up in the sky.
Yeah.
As much as you think that you
That's
do.
what I'm telling you.
No, wait, but did you hear about was it the 3 or 4 children that were found in the Colombian forest or the Amazon?
What the fuck?
They had fallen from a plane and their mom and the pilot died. And the little girl, she was 13 with her siblings. I think it was 9, 6, and 11 months. And they all survived for 40 days.
Shut the fuck up. ¿Y las encontraron allí?
They were alive.
What?
Learning. They were from like an indigenous...
tribe or
culture? Like their culture. Yeah, they were. And then they managed to survive. Or
did you see this on Twitter?
It was all over the news. Yeah, it was like a couple of last week. And they managed to survive by the stuff that their grandmother taught them based on like the indigenous people that they came from.
Awesome.
But due to 11 months.
¿Y de dónde venían?
I don't know where they were going. But yeah, I was like, oh my God. Like
11 months.
13. Okay, your daughter, she's 12, right? But
Hell nah, bro. Hell nah. That girl.
And she said that they eat seeds and some plants that they would eat little by little. I mean, and I love Twitter. It has this good and bad moments, but under the story, somebody said, you know, obviously everybody was praising the girl, you know, the oldest girl and her siblings too. But somebody said, she's like, man, she's badass. Somebody said, I wouldn't even be able to survive a night in an Amazon warehouse.
No, not even at the Amazon. I would be scared. Sorting packages.
Yeah, I was like, if you read the story, yeah.
I need to look it up. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't see it on TikTok. It was all over the place.
No, I didn't see it. Sometimes whenever you're on your For You page, it just shows you what you've already been
watched. Yeah.
So it's probably something that has to do with like bees or something like that, because that's what I would be watching.
Yeah, and they were taken to the hospital and they were okay.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah. But that's cool. Pero se cayeron de un airplane.
Yeah. Like they found the
Don't tell that to my
wreck.
sister porque por si no quiere ir.
No, but it was kind of like a smaller airplane, not like
a
Boeing 767 or something, you know? Like this is
Pero
like
esta güey cree que se va a caer nada más. Oh, Vanessa's on. Let's go ahead and crash right now because she's on right
we're
now.
gonna get struck by lightning.
Yeah, we're gonna get. Oh, she's on there. Yeah, we're
Okay.
gonna. Yeah, no. I'm
That's
like,
the one. That's the one that
I'm
we're
like,
gonna do
you're
it
not that
on.
important, boo. You are not that important. And so then she got on the
Amy
the
se
cruise.
subió. They went on the cruise. On March 21st, the family flew to San Juan, Puerto Rico, and where they set sail on the Rhapsody of the Seas cruise ship with over other 2,000 passengers. It was over 2,000 people on it.
Damn.
Yeah.
So like it wasn't like como que it was just
It's not
secluded
like me voy
in
al carnival, the one that I went on with my friends.
No,
this was like, it was operated by the Royal Caribbean, and it was a luxury cruise line.
Oh, shit.
And up to that point, I don't know if it's the Rhapsody of the Seas or that specific ship, was only a year old.
Yo sí me voy, güey. For free? Shit.
Bitch, hell yeah. Especially if it's a luxury
And
cruise.
it's a week?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Bye. Peace.
I'll take a Xanax. I'm
Yeah.
fine.
We'll record on the boat. See you later.
So the family shared a cabin together on the 10th floor deck. It had like a balcony, like with views of the ocean and everything. And I believe the first stop was Aruba, which was on the 23rd. So you set sail and then you're on the sea for like a whole day, and then you dock the day that you're going to be on that island, right?
Uh-huh. Well, I wouldn't know, but I'm like, okay.
So the family of 4 went on the island. They got off at Aruba, had a great time exploring, and then made it back on the ship by the time you're supposed to be back, because then you have to go on to the next destination. So after getting back on the ship, the family planned to get ready for a dinner that night, which usually on the cruise, they have like, there's a night where it's like fancy. Like you dress up to the nines and everything.
I think one of my besties, Nicole, and my work mama, Martha, went on one, and they told me that they had to wear like dresses and all this stuff.
Dress up really fancy.
I didn't know that, but yeah.
So like I just said, they dressed to the nines. The men, Brad and Ron, wore tuxedos, and Amy wore like, and her mom, like really nice dresses. And there's a photo that pops up when you look up Amy's case. It's a picture of her and Brad. It kind of looks like a prom picture, but they look cute.
Oh,
yeah, and she's wearing like a black dress, and he's wearing like a black tuxedo, like fancy, like a red carpet.
Como cuando tienen como the little boat, and the background is like water, y tienen like the little lifesaver thingies. Is it like that?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. I was thinking about like Josh and Drake. ¿Cómo se llamaba? Josh and something, and they were on the boat.
Drake and
My
Josh?
Sweet Life. My Sweet Life.
The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody.
Yeah, Zack and Cody.
The Sweet Life on Deck?
Yeah, Sweet Life on Deck, I think.
So after the Bradleys enjoyed dinner, they went back to their cabin and, se cambiaron de ropa into like chill clothes. Like you when you got home, they said you need to change your
attire. Yes.
They went up to the cabin and changed their attire to more leisure clothing.
Fun stuff.
And after changing, they went up to a party that was going to be on the top deck.
Party it.
Yeah, there was live music. People were dancing, and there's videos of this, having drinks. Even there was a limbo contest.
Not the limbo.
Brad said that he won the limbo contest.
Brad, you are the best.
It sounded like everybody was just having a good time, like an all-around good time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Como la 1 de la mañana, Ron and Iva decided to call it night. They were like, okay, we're done. Yeah. And they headed back to the cabin. And at the exact kind of same time, they were leaving they were setting sail to the next destination already, which was the island of Curacao, which is a Dutch island off the coast of Venezuela.
Wow, that sounds beautiful.
Yeah. And it was about 70 miles away, so not very far from Aruba. Now, I'm not sure when exactly was it, but the party from the top deck moves to the ship's 24-hour dance club.
So everybody's like, hey, let's go downstairs.
To the dance club. Yeah, 24 hours open. Puro pinche party.
Yeah, puro pinche party 24 hours.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if I could do that.
The house band was playing, which was called the Blue Orchid.
Not the Blue Orchid.
The Blue Orchid, bitch. Brad started to do his own thing at the
with
24.
The limboing.
No, but in the club.
Oh, ya se había pasado. He was done with limbo.
Yeah,
they
were like him and like the party moved down to the club. Brad started doing his own thing. He started talking to some girls. He was, Brad. I don't think he was networking. He was just having a good time, And Amy was mingling with other passengers, también members of the crew that were there.
That would be me, making all the friends.
And she was seen dancing with one of Blue Orchid's band members, Alistair Douglas. And there's video. You can see it. I'll show you a picture in a little bit. Mm-hmm. So a few hours later, Brad también dijo, I'm done.
Ya se cansó el compa.
And
he's like, I'm done.
He made his way to the cabin. And él dice que it was like around 4 a.m. But later, the ship's computerized log system shows that Brad returned around 3:35 a.m. Look, I'm sure when you're up there partying, dancing in the middle of nowhere
drunk.
on a ship, you don't even know what fucking time it is. I'm sure times are going to be off, right?
I'm going to be drunk. So
to me, he was close. 3:35.
3:30, it doesn't matter. Yeah.
So after he arrives at the cabin, he goes out and sits out on the balcony. Because tenían como unas chairs you could sit out. And you could just chill in the balcony.
Yeah.
About 15 to 20 minutes later, according to him, llega Amy.
Okay.
Yeah. And se sienta con él afuera. And they're both chilling, just sitting outside. They talk about what they're going to do on Curacao, because it's going to be that in a couple of hours, because it's already, 3:35, 4. So they're talking about what are they going to do on the island. And not long after that, Brad said that he's tired and he's going to go to bed. And Amy's like, well, okay, I'm going to stay up here a little bit longer. I just want to stay out in the fresh air. So Brad va y se acuesta. Ron, el papá, woke up before dawn. So the sun wasn't out yet, which it might have 5:30 or 6.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And he said that he could see Amy still sitting out on the balcony. Like he could see her. And he thought to himself, he was like, okay, so Amy's here, Brad's está acostado, everybody's here. I'm just going to rest my eyes for a little bit longer before we actually have to get up for the day and start getting ready to, get off the boat and go on the island. So se va y se acuesta otra vez. He woke up again. He said 20, 30 minutes later, so ya eran como las 6. And when he looked out at the balcony, ya no estaba Amy. So he looked to her bed, y no estaba. He says that he didn't panic right away, that he just assumed que she had gone to take up... she had gone up to the top deck to either have coffee or take pictures of the sunrise, because she had bought like a lot of film to take pictures on the ship. So she was like, oh, that's what she's doing. So he gets up, he changes, y la va y la busca. And he said he searched all open areas, the top decks, all open spaces, hallways. And like about an hour later, todavía no la encontraba.
Okay.
Panic starting to set in now. And he goes to the cabin y despierta a su esposa, a Iva. And he tells her that he can't find Amy. So she immediately gets up, and I'm assuming they wake up Brad up too, and they begin looking for her.
No, they're probably like, hey, where did you see her? Le hicieron preguntas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and Ron la vio. I mean, when he popped up his head, she was sitting still on the balcony. So when they all got up and started looking for her, it was probably like 7 a.m. already. They asked crew members if they had seen Navy.
Well, think about it. It's not that much of a difference of time, porque si se levantaron, vamos a decir que se acostaron a las 4, por decir, se acostó uno, they were already asleep. Él se levanta como a las 5, that's an hour. And then from there, y la miró, and then he goes back to sleep 20, 30 minutes. Like, the timing is like really quick. They found out she was missing pretty quickly, right? Okay.
They asked crew members if they had seen Amy. And they tell them, les dicen que no. And they ask, they go ask, obviously, all of this. And they're telling them no. So they're like, okay, we need to speak to the captain of the ship.
Like, I need to speak to somebody, authority,
And because by this point, the ship had docked at the island of Curacao already. And they were the passengers were just waiting that they were going to open the door so people could get off. And Ron and Iva were like, no, don't do that. Please don't let nobody off the ship until Amy can be located. And they were told that they couldn't hold passengers on the ship. So they asked the captain to at least make an announcement over the speakers about Amy being missing, or if anybody had seen her. Because remember, like I said earlier, it was over 2,000 people on this fucking ship.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of fucking people. Somebody or someone must have seen her, right?
Somewhere.
Nobody has gotten off the ship, so she has to be on the ship, right? But el captain les dice que no. That he's not going to make an announcement because he didn't want to scare or disturb other passengers.
I don't give a fuck. I would be like, give me the damn microphone, motherfucker. Give it to me.
Pero sí les dice that he was like, hey, when people start getting off the ship, I'll personally look for her and my crew, and we'll look the whole ship, we know where to look for her. Si la gente se baja, they look for her, and hours later, after the ship had been searched from top to bottom.
According to them.
According to the captain. And the Bradleys were still helping them look también. Amy was still not found. Some crew members suggest that maybe she got off the boat and was on the island, and that maybe they should get off and look too. Le dijeron a los Bradleys. Now, they were kind of reluctant because they wanted to continue searching for her on the boat. But they do end up getting off at Curacao because if they stayed on the boat and it turned out that Amy was on the island, they weren't going to be able to turn the ship around after the ship had left to return them back to the island, right? And it was like 5:30 by this point when they decided to get off the boat. And the ship was going to depart from Curacao in about 4 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So they got off at 5:30. They had 4 hours, I guess, on the island to look for her. And if not, they needed to be back. So on the island, they tried to reach the U.S. Embassy. I believe it was closed. They couldn't get anybody. But they do manage to contact the FBI. But it was going to take about 24 hours for somebody to actually make it to the island. Now that the FBI was coming, the Bradleys, I'm sure, made the impossible decision and not get back on the ship. And they stayed on the island.
Why'd they do that? They thought she was on the island?
Yeah. Because they're like, okay, they're going to come. We're going to be here on the island. She's not on the ship. They told us that she wasn't on the ship, so she has to be on the island.
What the fuck?
And Ron, he was like, yeah, we saw the ship sail away. And he was like, you see all these people dancing, celebrating, laughing, and we're just here like having the worst day of our lives.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is so sad.
At some point, they were able to get help on the island. There was a local Navy there, and with some search grids, they looked for Amy in the ocean. The waters near the island también were searched in case Amy had fallen off the ship and tried to swim to shore, which was a theory that had been floating around. Que se había caído de la balcony.
Well, she's really good swimmer.
Yeah, but I think you can be a really good swimmer, but the currents on the fucking ocean.
Definitely.
Yeah.
No, what I'm saying in the Meg. But what I'm saying is que like she was a really good swimmer, so she could have maybe survived a little bit better than I would survive, because she was more experienced in the water.
Yeah.
Not only that, pero si se está moviendo el pinche barco, like you imagine like the like the ¿cómo se llaman
the waves or the propellers and shit.
Yeah, all of that.
Now, pero Brad was like, no, she didn't get off the balcony. Oh, she didn't fall off the balcony. She was like, because Amy wouldn't even go near the railings the whole time that we were on the ship. So why would she
was scared. Yeah.
Yeah. So why would she do it at night when it was fucking dark?
I'm not fucking with the dark.
So Brad was like, no, she wouldn't do that. She didn't fall off the ship. So after searching the waters that were near the island and the search grids that were a little bit farther off, no Amy, todavía.
I don't know what I would have done though. I don't think I would have gone back on the fucking boat.
Yeah.
I would have. I'd be like, no, because we've already looked here. I'm leaving. Like, I need to go back where the last time that I saw her, she has to be on the boat. Like, I don't know. That's just my idea.
At the same time that all of that was happening, the FBI got in contact with the cruise ship and the actual company, not just the cruise ship, and they were fully cooperating with the FBI. And something that I'm sure the Bradley family dreaded to hear was that the ship crew did not search every nook and cranny of the ship as they were previous told. And the FBI called them and told them that hadn't been done.
What?
So the Bradley here, they're in Curacao, obviously fully regretting their fucking decision of getting off the ship, right?
Yeah.
They fly to St. Thomas, which was the next destination for the ship. And
we're going to get on over there?
They were going to demand to get back on the ship, right? And which they were lit on, but also they had the FBI with them, so it's not que les iban a decir que no.
True.
And it was March 26th.
So by this time pasaron 3 días.
Dos
días. Okay.
días. That Amy, so she'd been missing for 48 hours. Now on the ship, FBI agents do an extensive search of Amy. They're also walking around with pictures of her, asking people if they've seen her.
Which should have been done in the first place. Fucking Captain.
Yeah.
Pendejo.
And or any passengers, if they have recalled seeing her. And the Bradleys are looking too, obviously, right?
Uh-huh. Everybody's looking at this point.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I did watch an episode of Vanished for this episode and Disappeared. And on the episode of Vanish, Iva goes on to say that they were standing like near a hallway and that a couple of college-age girls go up to them and tell them frantically that they've seen Amy, that they saw her early the night or the morning of the 24th, which is the night that she went missing, and that they saw her at around 5:45 a.m.
Okay.
Okay. That she was heading back to the 24-hour club.
Pues que no acababa de porear, so she went to go party more.
With one of the band members.
Oh, lo madre.
Yeah, the bass player, Alistair Douglas. The girls say, so according to the girls, Amy and Alistair came out of the elevator together, que salió Amy, luego salió Alistair tras de ella, y que cuando se abrían las puertas del elevador, the club was right there. So se metieron. That they saw this. They saw this. So Brad hears this, they're all standing there, les están diciendo. And he goes on to say that he remembers seeing Amy dance with Alistair. Even, I mentioned it earlier. Brad is like, oh yeah, I remember that. And then after the FBI, conduct their interviews, other people that were there were like, yeah, we saw them dance together. So it's being, people have saw them together that night.
At this point, they're like, okay, we saw them dancing together around this time.
Yeah.
And
then these girls saw them go back to the ship.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay. So it wasn't like it wasn't the same sighting. Like this was another time. Okay, okay.
And then Brad says that he recalls something like another interaction that he had with Alistair the morning that they were looking for Amy, that they realized she had gone missing. He says that he was sitting down and just kind of like, he's like, oh fuck, like kind of reeling from everything that was happening. Y que Alistair goes up to him y que le dice that he was sorry to hear about his sister. And Brad says that he was just kind of out of it. And, he was just so worried about Amy that all he said was thanks, but that he didn't really think about it until that moment. They all realized how strange it was that he had said that, because the only people that knew that Amy was missing up to that point was the ship's captain, the Bradleys, and the security team.
Yeah. So why would he say that, right?
Right.
Okay.
In my mind, I'm like, well, he works on the ship. Somebody must have, como se, she's man, shit goes around.
Well, yeah, you're right. But I mean, at that moment, they're trying to find something,
right,
that they can go by. But I mean, it is still weird
that he would just say that.
Yeah.
Right. I agree. Now, this information gets passed on to the FBI, and they sit Alistair down. And he was also known as Yellow.
Not Yellow.
Yellow. I don't know why.
Yellow.
Amarillo.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That's my new nickname. Call me Yellow from now on.
So they interview him, ask him some questions, and he goes on to say that he knows nothing about Amy or what happened to her.
No sabe nunca. He's never seen her before.
No, not that he hasn't seen her, but he has no idea what happened to her. He's like, I don't know what happened to her. He even takes a polygraph test.
Oh.
And I'm not really sure what the final results were, but they weren't substantial enough to be like, oh, he's lying. He's lying. Okay. Oh, you need to sit here a little bit longer. We're going to detain you or anything. Nothing like that. Pero Ron dice that as he was exiting, now I don't know if there was people waiting to be interviewed. So there were other employees as Alistair was getting out of the room that he was interviewed in. And Ron was outside. Edie said that as Alistair was coming out, that he gave his friends a thumbs up and a smile to his friends.
Like we did it.
I'm good.
I'm good.
Like nothing happened to me.
Wow. This is too fishy.
So passengers and crew members
fishy
on the ship.
On the ship.
So after everybody was interviewed that they could possibly have been interviewed on the ship, there were no leads.
Wow.
Nothing.
So she just got up and disappeared.
But they kind of did find something really weird while doing their investigation on the ship. Now, on the ship, there's a photo service. Okay, someone goes around taking your pictures, and you can buy them if you want. They'll post them up on a board, like a bulletin board kind of, and you can see them on there, and you can buy them if you want. Well, it turns out that all the pictures of Amy were missing.
That's creepy. And
they went missing. I don't know. Obviously, they have to upload them somewhere, right? Either on the camera or the computer or whatever. 1998, I guess. I don't know. They went missing 9 to 10 hours before she went missing.
What the fuck? That's crazy.
And
even the ones that were on the film? Or just the ones that they printed or what?
I don't know. I don't know how that works. Shit. But that's the thing, they just go up to random people and take a picture, right? And everybody's picture gets taken, and over 2,000 people on the ship and only hers are missing out of everybody's, right? Mm-hmm. And nobody could ever figure out how that happened. Now, this leads the Bradleys to believe that someone must have taken her or kidnapped her, or abducted her, and that someone saw her early on the ship, and they watched her, and then they got an opportunity to take her, and they did. But again, that's just like a theory that they have. Yeah, there wasn't anything concrete to actually, you know, arrest somebody for it, or even Alistair, you know?
Yellow.
Yeah. Oh, my bad. Amarillo.
Dile bien.
So on March 28th, the Bradleys make the heartbreaking decision to fly home to Virginia.
Oh, my God. Without her.
But as soon as they get back to Virginia, like, they hit the ground running. They set up a website. Like, I don't even know. I know it's easier now in 2023, but how the fuck do you do that in 1998?
I know, dude. I didn't even know what a computer was.
They start speaking to the media. They, you know, getting the story out there. They were sending out emails, taking phone calls, making phone calls. Ron and Iva said que they were pegados to the computer 24/7. Like, de ahí no se paraban. They also announced a $260,000 reward for any information that would lead.
That's a lot of money.
That would lead to Amy's safe return. Yeah.
That's a lot of money back then too now.
Yeah. Now, the FBI also también starts looking into Amy and her life back home to see if there was any sort of clue, maybe, you know, something happened.
But the thing is, like, how did something was going to happen? They were so far from their home,
right?
You know, and they didn't dock from home. They docked from Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
So that's far, you know? I don't know. I just don't see how that would.
Because a lot of people were thinking maybe she committed suicide.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
But they don't have cameras and shit?
1998, bitch. I don't know what to tell you.
Oh, okay. Because they have cameras now, right? I hope they do.
Yes.
Shit.
They do.
Oh, okay.
They do. So Agent Brian Bradley of the FBI.
Another Bradley.
Another BB.
Not in relation?
No. He had the task of looking into Amy and her background. And he found out that Amy was very outgoing, which kind of knew, upbeat, friendly person. She had a lot of friends.
Like, there was no reason.
Very social. Yeah. So that's it. Like, that's the thing that they were kind of able to kind of like scratch off, was that she didn't throw herself off the ship. You know, she didn't have
a reason to, basically.
Yeah, she didn't commit suicide.
But you would think that if she would have wanted to commit suicide, wouldn't if she had done it like somewhere else?
I don't know.
If she was not even wanting to get close to the rails, you know? I don't know. That's just my thought.
She had so much going for. She was making plans. What did they say that people that?
Yeah, she had a dog.
Yeah, she just got a dog. She was trying to get her master's.
Yeah, she had an apartment.
Yeah, she just got an apartment.
Wow.
Not that means anything, because I know.
No, that doesn't. But I'm just saying, like, she was making plans, like you would think.
Yeah. So after a month, no leads.
Oh, shit.
Now on April 21st, Brad and Ron decide to fly back to Curacao and search for Amy again. They pass out flyers with her picture on them. They talk to tourists, locals. They get a car, start driving around. And it's weird because they actually get a tip from a taxi driver on the island. So this taxi driver goes up to Ron and Brad y le pregunta a Ron if he's the missing girl's dad. Y Ron le dice que sí. And then this taxi man proceeds to tell him that he saw his daughter the morning of the 24th, that she got off the ship. And cuando te bajas del barco, there's like a whole bunch of taxis in case you want to go somewhere, right? So they're just there waiting for you. And that Amy went up to his car y que le preguntó where was the phone. And he pointed her in the direction of the phone. And that cuando le preguntó, that she looked very frantic. She looked very scared. Y luego les dice eso. And then he's like, she didn't jump off the ship. She's on the island. And there's 3 places that I suggest you go look at. Now, the island's not very big. I don't know how big it is, but not too big. So les dice 3 places that they need to go look. And with the help of the police, they do just that. The first location is like a really, really big resort on the island. So they get there, pero no hay nadie. It's like a ghost town.
Holy shit. Like nobody, not nobody.
Even like... They said that there was 2 abandoned cars or something. And that's it.
Weird.
Then they moved to the other 2 locations, which I'm not sure what they were. But like the first location, they don't find anything.
Wow.
And
so how is this guy just talking out of his ass, you know? Like, what the fuck?
I don't know, but the guy said that he saw her and that she was like, the way that she looked, that she was so frantic, I'm never going to forget her green eyes. And Amy had green eyes. So they continue to search the island regardless. Iva says that they searched tiny huts, the back of boats, water, and again in the water, and nothing.
They looked everywhere. They tried their best.
And they were already there before, like they were looking. So after 4 days of being on the island, Brad and Ron are out on the streets. When Brad says that he heard somebody say his name and from a passing vehicle. And he was like, it sounded like Amy. He was like, I heard her call my name for 21 years. I know how her voice sounds. So they follow the van that they think it came from. And when they do catch up to it, it turns out there was just one guy in it.
Oh.
Yeah. So Brad was like, I don't know if I heard what I wanted to hear or if we followed the wrong car. Mm-hmm. So, like,
it could have been one or the other. Yeah.
So about a week after they arrived, they decided to return home.
Aww.
Yeah. And they had a layover in Miami. So cuando estaban en Miami, Iva called Ron y le dijo that she had just received a call from the police in Curacao informing her that they had found the body of a woman that had been discovered. And that they believed it was Amy based on the size and the hair. I think she had brunette hair. But that it would take about 24 hours to make like a clearer identification of the body. After forensic testing was done, it was concluded that the remains found were not Amy. They weren't even a woman. They were a man's.
Wow. They couldn't even figure that out?
Back to square one.
Oh, my God.
And the case, unfortunately, stalled with
I want to look back at Yellow, bro.
Stalled with no leads until 14 months later.
14 months pasó.
In May of 1999, Amy's case got featured on America's Most Wanted.
Yeah.
Which generated like a major lead.
Fuck yeah.
So after watching the segment of Amy's case, a Canadian man named David Carmichael called and stated that he had seen Amy in August of 1998 in Curacao. So 5 months after she had gone missing. David states that he was scuba diving on the island and he was washing off his gear when he turned to like the beach area and saw a woman with two men. And that they were kind of like on her, just like real close to her, like flanking her. He dice that when she heard that he was speaking English, that she kind of picked up her pace and put distance between her and the two men and she was making her way towards David. Y cuando he's like, she was about 3 to 4 feet away from me. And you could see that her mouth, she was about to say something when the guys caught up to her and pulled her into a cafe that was closed. Dice que lo siguió y se metió al café. And that he says that he recalls seeing like a scar on the woman's shin and tattoos that she had. And he tells Bradley that the woman had like a Tasmanian devil on the back of her right shoulder blade. And Amy had that exact tattoo on the back of her shoulder blade. And according to Iva, I think Amy had like 3 or 4 tattoos and that she designed all her own tattoos. So not anybody would have the same one that she did. I think it was a baby Tasmanian and I think it had like a backwards hat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, Iva goes on to say that, he described Amy to a T. And even this guy, he was like, I don't want your reward money. He was like, but I saw her. This is what I saw.
Wow.
Yeah. So the local police go and search the area where, according to David, this took place. But there was no sign of Amy. Wow. But remember, this happened in August 1998. Mm-hmm. And he's telling them in May of 1999.
Yeah, it could have been anywhere now by this time, yeah.
Now, David's tip reinforces to the Bradleys the belief that Amy was abducted and was being held against her will. But after that tip to David, they couldn't verify anything.
There was nothing else.
There's nothing.
Wow.
So nothing came out of it besides just their hopes got up, for a bit. Now, in August of 1999, the Bradleys receive a call from an acquaintance that connected them.
Damn. Wow. That connected them.
I wanted an island accent.
You were like, that connected them.
Connected them with a private investigator.
Okay.
Who had previously worked in the special forces. And the man's name is Frank Jones.
Frank Jones.
Frank Jones, not Mike. Frank.
Mike Jones. Who?
Mike Jones.
Who? Okay. That's
Frank
just,
Jones.
That's just South. That's just.
So Frank Jones said that he has worked in cases like Amy's before, and he has a team that he works with, and they gather intel on missing people. And he believes that Amy's being held on the island and that she's been a victim of human trafficking.
Uh-oh.
And that he heard about Amy's case and that he wanted to help the family. Frank tells the family that he has contacts on the island and, he's gathering information and stuff like that. So days later, he calls them back and tells them that Amy is still on the island. And according to Frank, Amy had been spotted on the beach with multiple men, multiple times. So just like David had said, right? She was on the beach.
Yeah, okay.
So he proposes her, they're like, okay, we're going to keep an eye out on things. If there's ever an opportunity that a rescue we can do a rescue, if shit like that happens.
Yeah.
But that would take time and money. So the Bradleys put up upfront $24,000. Mm-hmm. So you can kind of start working on shit. Over the next year. Yep. Frank and his team stake out brothels and drug dens and stuff.
Yeah.
Following Amy around or where she might be or hearing things here and there that
she think that she's around there.
Yeah.
Okay. And
he asks for more money from the Bradleys to keep the operation going because obviously you have to pay all these people that are there, your own shit, But the Bradleys are like, okay, so it's been how long now? If you have proof of Amy, before we give you any more money, you need to, send us some proof. Frank sends the Baileys surveillance photos of a woman on the beach with a man. And in the photos, the woman is wearing a large hat and she has a towel over her shoulder. But you can see the Tasmanian devil. And then I think a Chinese symbol that she had on her ankle, the area. And then Iva, she was the woman looked like Amy. She was she was built like Amy. She stood like Amy. They're that's Amy, right? So le mandan $100,000.
Oh, shit.
Now in October of 2000.
This just doesn't sound right.
It's not. In October of 2000, Frank tells him that he has enough intel to carry out the rescue mission. Mm-hmm. But that he's going to need more money. Now, Ron's employer, he's the one that sent him on the ship, on the cruise. He's I'm not exactly sure what he did, but his employer, he was I'll give you the money, whatever it takes to get Amy back. He was I'll give you guys the money. But before doing so, the employer himself took it upon himself to send a security, a contractor, a security contractor named Tim Buckles to monitor Frank and his
people
operation that he
supposedly was having. Right. Yeah.
To make sure that he wasn't just getting the Bradley. Getting their hopes up, bitch. Imagine.
Pobrecitos.
So after just llega Tim Buckles to the island of Curacao and just a couple of hours on the island, Tim calls the Bradley's family and tells them that they have been scammed. And that Frank Jones is a con artist.
Oh, wow.
Frank was in a bar drinking rum.
Está bien pedo el compa.
And he had no dealings with anything concerning Amy.
So sad, dude.
The photos that he had sent the family, those tattoos were stenciled onto a random woman. And then they just posed her with this man to take pictures. Wow. And those tattoos he had actually gotten from Ron and Iva when he was telling them that he needed, what did Amy look like? What does she have? So he can gather intel, quote unquote, on the island. So he got those tattoos from them. And then they drew up a stencil and there's that's some place in hell for people like that, dude.
That's some fucked up shit,
and then I don't remember if it was Ron or Iva that said, she was and he had a daughter. Wow. How do you do that to somebody else that is currently looking for their daughter when you have one of your own? People are trash.
Big time trash.
Now, in February 2002, Frank Jones was arrested in Virginia and charged with fraud.
Yeah, his ass needs to go to jail.
And he was sentenced to 5 years in prison.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And he also had to pay the family back for the money that
he took from them. Needs to hurry up and give me my fucking money back.
Now, obviously, the Bradleys, it wasn't even the money. It's just that they wasted so much time following this man. Yeah, that they could have, like you just said, they could have been actually looking for Amy, But they began making those efforts again. Another tip comes in. Okay. It was from a Navy officer that had been stationed on Curacao. So this Navy officer says that he was in a brothel when a woman approached him. Y que she leaned in and told him that her name was Amy Bradley and that she needed help. And that he asked her, okay, what kind of help do you need? And then she was like, I need help. I can't get out. After that, like somebody came up to her and just kind of like
pushed her away.
He never got to talk to her again. But by the time he came forward with this information, it had been more than 2 years.
What the fuck?
And then they're like, dude, why?
Why did you wait that long?
Bitch, because he, as a naval officer, bitch, you can't be in a brothel.
Oh my God. I would have been like, stop pasando por ahí. Like, I wasn't there,
I was
but
undercover.
I was driving by.
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
I was going in to ask for the restroom. Like,
I got lost. I needed directions.
Yeah, I had no idea where to go.
And by the time they went to go search the brothel, it had burned down.
Of course it did.
This again, dude, they're like, dude, she's being trafficked, right? Because all these...
She has to be alive. Like, that's what they're thinking, right? Mm-hmm.
But 4 years would pass before another tip came in.
Wow.
In September of 2005, photos get sent to the Bradley family from an anonymous source. And I'm going to send these to you real quick.
Okay. What am I looking at?
These photos get sent to the Bradley family from an anonymous source. And the pictures are of a woman who resembles Amy.
She does. She has a high cheekbones and a nose kind of like her. And the ears actually are long like hers. But it looks like she's lost weight.
Well, I mean, how long had it been?
Yeah. She looks darker probably from the...
And she had heavy makeup on.
Yeah.
Her picture was from an adult website based in the Caribbean, and the woman was named Jazz and was being advertised as an escort.
That looks like her. Wow.
She just looks like older. I mean, obviously, you know?
She looks so sad. Like she hasn't ate a lot. Like bien flaquita.
The Bradley family got in touch with a forensic detective that looked over the pictures. Mm-hmm. And according to the detective, who took Amy, like home pictures that were from Amy, compared them to these pictures. And he said that the facial structure, the hairlines, the multiple piercings, that everything was a match and that woman was Amy. And he even went on to say that he would bet his job on it. Now, investigators then proceed to try and trace the IP address of these pictures. But unfortunately, they were not able to trace it back to an actual person or place ever.
And I mean, think about it. Okay, this white woman is in a Caribbean website, you know, and sailing services where somebody that looks very similar to her is missing. Like, doesn't
she went
that
missing
sound
from the
you
Caribbean?
know what I mean? Doesn't that sound kind of fishy?
But like that, but I think that picture, they weren't actually able to originate
where
the
it came
origins.
from.
Yeah, where it came from. So,
Yeah.
you know, maybe they just got it from Google. I don't know. But dude, doesn't it look just like her?
It looks just like her. It does. I would bet myself a lot of money on that too, because she looks just like her. Literally, the ears are the same size. She
just looks harder.
She looks
like she looks like a harder person.
Yeah, like she's
like before she looked
soft.
Yeah, she looked softer. Estaba chiquita. She was 23 when she first went missing.
Yeah,
and now
she looks older, and like she does look like she's lost weight. Like
and that she's gone through some stuff.
Yeah.
Now, even though they weren't able to, the pictures weren't able to be traced, when photos hit the media, it obviously sparked things up back again. They began talking about Amy's case all over again in the media and stuff, who by this point, by the time the pictures came out, would have been 31.
Wow.
Which she does look it, right? Like
she looks 31. Yeah.
So with everything, like I just said, being back in the media, it generated a new lead. A woman named Judy Maurer from Ohio called in a tip after seeing Amy's story, I think on
the news or something.
News article or something like that. Judy goes on to say that she and her husband were on a cruise 9 months prior, and they docked in Barbados. And that they got off the ship to do some shopping. Y dice que Judy was inside a department store, and she went in to use the restroom in the department store. And while she was in the stall, she said that she heard somebody come into the restroom. And then she heard men voices yelling or telling somebody that they repeated the same thing 5 or 6 times, that the deal was at 11 o'clock and that you better be ready to go and that you better cooperate and that this is my deal, so you better not mess it up. And that she was listening to this, and Judy, she was like, I stayed really quiet. She was like, I don't think anybody knew I was in the stall.
In the stall, yeah.
She was like, I didn't know what the fuck they're going to do to me. She was like, I was scared. Were they going to fucking rob me or something? Like, what the fuck? She hears that they left the restroom. Y cuando ella vio, she said that there was a woman still inside and that she was by the sink and that she went and tried to talk to her. And Judy asked the woman where she was from. Y que, you know, kind of be like, hey, you're okay? Like, where are you from? Y que, according to Judy, this woman looked so distraught and about ready to cry pero que la woman le dijo bien quedito que le dice that she says that she's from Virginia.
Wow.
So then she asked her what was her name. Y que softly la señora, the woman that he was talking to her, le dice que se llama Amy. And that she was like, oh, Amy, that's my daughter's name. Y que this woman just kind of got up to her in her face, like, be quiet. Yeah. And that her face just kind of like went like con horror, right? And then she said that at the same time as the lady was trying to tell her to like, they got up in her face, le dijo que you could start hearing the men's voices outside the door again. And that Judy was just like, fuck this shit. And she said that she just got out of the restroom y pasó like por ellos. Mm-hmm. And there was like 3 men outside.
Wow.
Yeah. And she said that she just left and she made her way outside and she said she never saw that woman again until she saw the story. Until she saw the story.
And she didn't tell anybody again.
So she contacted the Bradley family. They contacted the FBI and they were able to create a sketch based on Judy's description of the woman in the bathroom. I'm going to show it to you.
Okay. I'm ready, Freddy. Oh my God, it's her. Wow. She has the same hair than the girl
from the Caribbean picture.
Caribbean picture.
Yep.
The same ears, the piercings. She looks even older now. Her eyebrows are the same. Yeah, because if you look at the original picture of Amy, she doesn't have any eyebrows. But then if you keep looking, the eyebrows are painted on.
Look, I'm going to show you just a picture of Amy while she was on the ship.
Wow. Yeah, they just grew out her hair. That's some crazy shit, dude. That's her. Mm-hmm. That's some crazy shit.
Now, the FBI then follows up with the department store. But remember, they had been 9 months prior. It's like they just keep missing it, right?
Yeah.
So they followed up with the department store, but nobody remembered seeing that woman or the men. Mm-hmm. And so with that, they're back to square one.
Wow.
Now, the Bradley family still continues to search for Amy. And if you or anyone has any information on Amy's disappearance or whereabouts, you can submit a tip to the FBI website, which we'll link down in the episode notes below. Or you can contact your local FBI or the nearest American embassy or consulate. Now, at the time, obviously, 25 years have passed now?
Yeah. So she would have been what?
In her 40s?
In her 40s.
Yeah, but at the time of her disappearance, Amy had short brown hair and she was 5'6" and 120 pounds and green eyes.
Yeah.
And she has a Tasmanian devil spinning, a basketball on her shoulder, the sun on her lower back, a Chinese symbol on her right ankle, and a gecko lizard on her navel. And she also has her belly pierced. But that was in 1998. Yeah. And obviously now, I think on the FBI website, they've done like...
an upgrade or
like progression.
Yeah.
Progression of what she would look like now.
Well, at least I think that, and maybe I'm just being a little bit trying to be the positive person that I would like to be, but I think that it's at least the family should know that she's
That's
alive.
What Iva says. She's like, she's not to her, for people say that she fell off the balcony, a lot of people are saying that she fell off the balcony.
I think that the guy from the band had something to do with it. I think he turned her in or gave her up or something like that. That had to have happened because she wasn't going to go from her room out with this guy que lo miraron con ella and then into
that was them.
Push her out. There's no way. Yeah. Amy is just kind of like looking down like at his feet and stuff. They're dancing. And this is the second time that they were seen? Or is this the first time?
That was the night whenever Brad was there and everything.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure he had something to do with it.
Yeah.
He had to. I mean, I'm not trying to say I'm not saying positive, but I'm pretty sure. But I feel like, I know it's horrible and she's probably suffering a lot and she's probably going through a lot or has gone through a lot. But I mean, at least she's not dead and, her family could say, okay, she's not somewhere that we can't even, one day maybe they'll be able to see her again. You never know.
Yeah, that's crazy. But I mean, we all know how human trafficking works. Yeah. So, I mean, I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah. That is so sad. Well, thank you for that story, sister. Very enlightening story.
You're welcome.
And we have to know that we need to pay attention to our surroundings sometimes.
For real, if you see some shit that's weird or something.
Say something.
Like, I think Like, yeah. You know when something's off or, you know.
So if anybody sees anything that is kind of off and you feel like...
Tell somebody.
Even if it's just your family member. Yeah. And then your family member is like, dude, you should probably,
tell the authorities
or something. Tell the authorities or something. But with that being said, thank you so much for everybody that is listening and that will be listening. If you would like to follow us on Instagram, you can follow us at...
Cafecito and Crime Pod, or you can send us an email to...
Cafecito and Crime Pod gmail.com.
Yeah. So have a good Thursday.
Have a good Thursday.
Or any other day.
Or any other day. Thank you so much for listening, and
Bye.
bye.